Elon Musk's crazy new engine shocks the entire automotive industry, and here at EcoNews we will tell you all about the new invention that will revolutionize the world and space travel. So don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss more content like this. Now, let's get started. Elon Musk's new light-speed engine defies physics. Musk and NASA just announced their new rocket called Lightspeed Engine, which will defy physics and could take us to Mars in weeks instead of months. They are currently testing it on their new spacecraft called the Interplanetary Transport System. In this video you'll see what it really is, speeding, how it works, and why it could be a game changer in space travel. The new mission is to design an internal disruptive engine that would reduce launch costs. The target $5 million. NASA calls it a breakthrough and Elon Musk calls it amazing because a new small team of NASA engineers just tested what is called a new type of rocket engine that can operate much more efficiently than any currently on Earth. I'm sure you're wondering, how is it that they can beat that? Well, and if I told you that there are plans to do even better, much better, would you believe me? Basically, NASA has just successfully tested a new type of engine that promises to make space travel cheaper and faster. Currently, most commercial and military rockets use chemical fuel that must be prefabricated on Earth and then loaded into rocket boosters before launch, which makes it not only very expensive and extremely complex to make, but also limits the amount of weight that can be lifted off the Earth's surface. The new experimental engine runs on an alternative form of electric fuel, like that found in the walls of our homes. It may sound crazy at first, but when you consider that 95% of everything you do in life involves the use of electricity, from running a vacuum cleaner to turning on a light switch, it doesn't seem so far-fetched anymore. Rocket. In mid-September, Musk and a team of NASA scientists announced their design for a revolutionary rocket they called Raptor, which can withstand more than 500,000 pounds of thrust and run on liquid methane instead of traditional kerosene. This means it would produce 30% less carbon dioxide emissions. I'm hoping for short flights, sort of top-down flights, probably, recounted Steve Jobs, Associate Administrator of NASA's Space Technology Emissions Directorate. But what exactly are they building? It's a giant super heavy lift launch vehicle and booster rocket combination, capable of lifting 170 metric tons into low Earth orbit. To put that in perspective, Falcon Heavy, SpaceX's recently operational heavy lift rocket, is capable of lifting 54 metric tons. This means that a single Raptor engine could potentially replace the 3 first-stage Merlin engines used on the current Falcon 9 launch vehicle. The Raptor also differs from most traditional rockets. Kerosene has been used as fuel since the 1950s. On the other hand, methane is cleaner and easier to produce than traditional rocket fuel, but also extremely difficult to handle. It does not mean that conventional rocket engines cannot use it as a propellant. They would burn up because they couldn't hold as much pressure and heat, but SpaceX seems ready to figure out how to harness that power with Raptor. The experimental engine generates a whopping 420,000 pounds of thrust using methane as fuel and liquid oxygen. Before we go any further, if you're finding this interesting, give us a like and let us know what you think of the video so far. Where does the power come from? The M drive produces thrust by bouncing like microwave waves back and forth inside a closed chamber, and the electromagnetic fields that result from this bouncing also produce an equal and opposite reaction, causing acceleration in one direction. To power it, solar energy or some other type of extra power supply must be used, which could be another spacecraft, such as a satellite or even a ground station receiving radio waves. But so far experiments with systems like these have not been able to create enough force to overcome drag or make a significant trade-off in trajectory. Researchers working on a NASA-funded study have discovered that what they assume is impossible actually is, at least in some cases. A team at Eagle Works Laboratories has completed tests of an electromagnetic and M-drive unit in conditions similar to what it might experience in deep space, and they claim that these tests confirm a thrust-to-power ratio of 1:4. This is higher than any of their predicted calculations for such a device. which could open up new possibilities for deep space exploration. What is the M-Drive? The M-Drive is a controversial device. It goes against Newton's third law, which states that everything must have an equal and opposite reaction. So if you shoot something from a space rocket, will there be something that will propel it in another direction? Even if it's just air molecules bouncing around. M-Drive doesn't do that. It only produces thrust in one direction. How does it work? If you are liking the video, subscribe to the channel and give us a like and a comment with your opinion on the subject. Elon Musk is accelerating science fiction one step closer to reality. His company says it has created a propulsion system that defies physics and has successfully tested it. The propulsion system uses electrically charged gas and can reach speeds up to 65 kilometers per second or about 135,000 miles per hour. In turn, the engine is made with a super lightweight carbon fiber fuel tank with cold gas propellants. It does not use any propellant, which means it does not eject any byproducts into space. Such engines are known as electric thrusters, but they operate very differently from those used in today's engines. According to reports, the electric motor developed by SpaceX is more powerful than conventional grid-ion thrusters and could power manned missions to Mars and beyond. It could also reduce the travel time of space-bound cargo. The science is still testing to make the new rocket work as it should. Yet Elon Musk claims he can do it by creating a light-speed engine that will get us to Mars in as little as 70 days. Some say that it is impossible to travel at high speeds through space. What do you think about this? Do you think it is probable to travel at the speed of light and, moreover, to reach Mars in only 70 days? Leave us your answer in the comments box and feel free to subscribe to EcoNews for more content like this. Why did he decide to make an engine like this? Why did NASA decide to fund his idea? Can Elon Musk achieve what he claims? There are a few ways we could travel at the speed of light, but first we must understand how light works as it travels through space. Every atom in its path interacts with it. This slows it down, even stops it altogether. If there is nothing to pass through because of these interactions, light has a maximum speed of 186,000 miles per second, which means that is as fast as it can go through empty space. If we want to reach a distant star in our lifetime, we must find another way to get there besides traveling directly to it. How far are we from the speed of light? The current way we measure speed is distance over time. To travel at the speed of light, or 186,000 miles per second, you must accelerate past that speed until your speed is 186,000 mph and then keep it there for an infinite time. We have not yet reached what most consider the speed of light, although many experiments and theories suggest that we may someday approach or even surpass it in our lifetime. Until very recently, it was accepted that nothing in our current state of technology could begin to move at anything close to what we consider the speed of light. Some estimates place us thousands or even tens of thousands of years away from reaching it. That said, we are often amazed at what science and technology can achieve, and now scientists have managed to make an engine capable of reaching only 10% of the speed of light, challenging these previous assumptions about what is possible for our technological capabilities today. The invention of an engine that could reach such high speeds, it would allow us to travel through space much more efficiently than before. We could see much faster space travel thanks to their revolutionary engine listed, although there is currently no information on who they will be competing against. The two biggest competitors in commercial space travel are SpaceX and Blue Origin, companies that are focused on getting into orbit and beyond, using new technology developed by founder Elon Musk, SpaceX, and Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. Blue Origin. All three companies have met with varying levels of success so far. Blue Origin just successfully tested its B-4 rocket engine last week, while SpaceX was not far behind. These companies have made leaps and bounds in space travel, with SpaceX making history a few years ago when it became one of only 3 private companies to launch a spacecraft into orbit and return it safely to Earth. In fact, earlier this year, SpaceX launched its most powerful rocket yet, with plans to send 2 tourists around the moon next year. All three companies are doing their best to make space travel commonplace. However, as Blue Origin and SpaceX say, they are focused on transportation rather than tourism. NASA, for its part, may well be considering sending people farther than any of the companies have planned. Bottom line, Musk's engine represents a quantum leap in humanity's ability to traverse space and a major point of progress for mankind. The technology could revolutionize our ability to travel between other planets, explore deeper parts of our solar system, and even leave our galaxy. If successful, Elon Musk will go down in history not only as one of Silicon Valley's most popular figures, but also as a giant among scientists and engineers alike. For answers to these questions and more, here are some important things you should know about this engine: what it is, how it works, and why it has been so difficult for others to achieve so far. The technology behind hyperspeed travel has been around for quite some time, but it had always seemed crazy to travel faster than light. Although physicists have known for years that you can only travel faster than light using a wormhole or a warp drive, humans have never achieved either of these. Even with the best minds in multiple fields focused on the problem, our most advanced technology still couldn't reach those speeds. We knew what we needed, but we didn't know how to make it work. The ramifications of Musk's new engine could be huge, not only for space exploration, but also here on Earth. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave your like and give us your opinion about it in the comments. Remember to share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more news like this. See you in a future video.